I found the solution to drinking water. You just got to put some bubbles in it, man. That's the secret. I actually, I'm pretty still. I like still water too. Don't get me wrong, but sparkling has something to it. I like the flavoring to it. Flavored still water is kind of like, I'm good. I don't need the Mio. I don't need all that stuff, Crystal Light and stuff. I mean, if you make it bubbly, I'm interested. That's how it is. Especially with water, man. Water is something that, I guess naturally isn't really that sparkly. It's, it's kind of just salty or fresh, some would say, but not so much sparkling. I know waterfalls and stuff, they have like a twinkle to them in the sunlight and stuff like that, but sparkling water is definitely something I like to drink. I actually just got this soda stream that you can make your own sodas and stuff, so you could carbonize it. And me, man, I like my stuff extra carbonated. I know down in the South, they actually have this thing called heavy. So you can get Pepsi, and then there's heavy Pepsi, and then there's double heavy Pepsi. That basically means like there's thick syrup going into that. And, whenever I see the word thick, I think peach, the peach emoji, and I just don't really see myself ever wanting double syrup in my pop. And actually, I'd rather have the opposite. I'd rather have more carbonation than syrup. I've gone to some restaurants before, and when the carbonation is off, I don't want none of the soda, man. Like, I've gotten a Coke before or Pepsi, and it was just flat. And it's like, honestly, when it comes out of those soda guns, your soda's already about to be flat. Unless it's on point or something. Because I know, like, when you go up to the thing and you press it, I don't know what you would call that. Like a fountain drink is what they call it. And you press it against it, you get your ice. It's good out of there. But when it comes out of the soda, the gun, man, it's never good. And I've had my fair, my fair attempts on those before, because I'll go to bars and stuff. And I'm not the guy who's drinking, so I'm always getting sodas. And so I'm definitely had my fair share of soda guns. And I remember when iCarly was on, for those of you guys who don't know, iCarly's a show that was on Nickelodeon. They always made the soda gun look really cool. They had this scene where Drake and Josh were actually like, Drake and Josh, not iCarly. Sorry. Drake and Josh, also another show on Nickelodeon that was prior to iCarly. They were actually drinking out of it, like, because they worked there. Like, this is the one perk, we get. I was like, dang, that's a cool perk. Take a drink here. But yeah, anyways, we're here with episode 142. Really glad to be here. Just kind of chilling today. One of those chill days. It's not really raining. It's not really not doing much. But I wanted to take the time to actually give a shout out. I've actually had a company reach out to me. They're called Equinox, and actually, I'll stand up here, and this is what I got going. They got some really cool stuff, man. They sent me this message. They've actually been they've been watching the show for a long time. Equinox reached out and they said, hey, what do you think of our clothing line? And I actually was like, man, this is dope, man. Yeah, I'll share it anytime you want, and like a week goes by and they're like, nah, man, like we want to collab. And I was like, oh yeah, that's dope. And I was asking them a whole bunch of questions, and they actually had some really cool stuff going on over there. So if you guys are interested in what I'm wearing, I actually got this going. It has it has this design on the front, and then on the back it has, check this out. It has like this going. So you guys can check it out there, man. They still got all their stuff in, they got the stuff in packaging still. Look, this is like you order something off of, you order something off an online store and they send you all the stuff. They have the card and everything, man. Danae owned company clothing brand from 2022. And they got my size on there and everything. And dude, they sent that faster than Amazon Prime. So, you guys are interested in checking out Higʷaligʷas, man, go check out, them I'll tag them below. But yeah, they send their stuff out quick. So, I messaged them, I went to bed, ate dinner, and then by the next day, it was at my doorstep. Not many things happen that quick. There's a lot of things that happen really fast. I know one thing that happens really fast is, people complaining. You go to a family event, you got a whole bunch of people, oh yeah, there's this going on and there's this, and, they're complaining away. And not too long before you start, thinking of your own drama, you're like, man, what do I got? You ever been in the family, event and everyone's spilling all the tea and you're like, man, I got nothing to spill, man. And then you feel like everyone's kind of waiting for your turn to share something. It's like a show and tell of the drama you have. Some person, hey, Larry came in and all of a sudden all the mattresses were gone. And then some other lady's like, well, I know another person whose family actually had their mattresses and their mattress toppers stolen. And he was sleeping with the principal. And people are like, the principal? Yeah, it was them too. And then, you're sitting there, you're like, what do you think, Dom? You're like, we need some houses on this res. We're not doing nothing about housing. And everyone's like, not like, we already know that. When we already knows that. Oh yeah, I heard that was last week. Oh, that's basically just saying your drama isn't good enough. Oh yeah, but what's the newest news? I don't know. Well, I heard that was last week. I mean, I heard that from his, that's already debunked. Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times where I'm trying to fit in and trying to talk, and people are like, who told you that? And you're like, their cousin. They're like, oh, well, I heard from their mom that wasn't true. Just instantly already got the better in. That's always something, man. But yeah, go check out Higʷaligʷas, man. They're a real cool clothing company. They send their stuff real quick. They're really cool people. Really about their message. And yeah, I'm really excited to be wearing it. It fits good. That's another thing. Like, you get like those shirts and stuff, and they just don't feel good. Like, you put them on, you wash them, and I'll be honest, I put this right on. Sometimes you wash stuff, it smells good too. So like, whatever detergent they use, they're doing good stuff, man. So check them out. Yeah. So like what we were saying, people complaining, man. The tea is always something. People are always waiting to tell you. And then sometimes, you got tea that you don't really want to tell people. You got relationship issues. You got something going on at work. You got bad grades. You don't want to tell your family because they're paying for it. So, you go to the person who you think you could talk to. And sometimes that's an uncle. Uncles, yeah, come talk to me anytime, So you go up to your uncle, you ask, hey, yeah, this is what's been going on with this relationship. And then well, I'll leave. Instantly. That's what I do. Yeah, what you got to do is go home, grab a bag, leave, make them wonder. Yeah, 2 days away, that make the heart go fonder. Just leave. Make them wonder. That one uncle, man, they just have lost all sense of just any heart. That's what my buddy John was saying. Is there a certain age, you just lose a heart. Yeah, you only get one of them, man. Hearts aren't like kidneys. I think you get 2 kidneys. And, you get 2 ears, you get 2 nostril holes, but one heart, man. And that's the thing, sometimes, you get the people that you can go and talk to about things, and they're really great to have. Then you get the people who when you do talk to them, it's overly it's like almost a competition. And that's never fun either. It's like, oh yeah, I was actually doing this, and then I failed. And they're like, well, I failed even worse than that. You got an F. I didn't even take it. Well, then why are we... I'm just telling you. That's... I guess, look at me. I'm complaining about complaining. I obviously got some good stuff going on right now. But yeah, that's just leave. It's what I do. But yeah, shout out to John. Actually, he's going to be coming on the next episode, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be an in-person one. In-person ones are hard to come by now. But also, we got some big stuff going on. Part Wolf Communication has now launched, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, it's partwolfcommunication.com. Basically, if you guys have any questions about anything creative, or you wanting to launch a business or something, and you want to consult with me, or you have ideas, let me know. Reach out, Dom at partwolfcommunication.com. Really excited to be doing that. Some cool stuff going on. Yeah, man, the pod has been really good. I've been liking the colorways and stuff. Been looking at the colors. I really always liked red. All right, but before we get into the next segment, I want to answer some questions here. People send in their questions. You could text 425-320-3641, or you guys can actually call in and leave a voicemail, 425-320-3641. Anyways, the first question we have here is your favorite fruit. What is your favorite fruit? This is asked from someone anonymous. Do not know them. What is my favorite fruit? Man, I really like watermelon, but I've been batting like 200, maybe 150 picking a watermelon. So for the case of just not, picking the right watermelons every time and the consistency, I don't know if I can make them number one anymore. I really do like peaches. Peaches are a great fruit. A reason I really like peaches is because you necessarily don't have to wash them. You can just go right in. And, I like that. Some fruits you got to peel. Some fruits you got to, take apart. Some of them have a hard outside. Peaches you can go right in. You can wash the fuzz off and stuff. I know that. But, peaches go good into a lot of stuff. I remember they had canned peaches when we were kids, and those were good too. They were skinless. I didn't mind those. So, yeah, I think peaches might be one of my favorite fruits for sure. But here in Washington, we don't really, get them too much. I remember I went and bought like 2 crates of peaches one time. I was the peach king, man. Yeah, so my favorite fruit definitely would have to be peaches, watermelon, and then I'd probably got to go Granny Smith apples, the green ones. I like that tartness, man. And when it bites the side of your cheeks and you feel like that tightness right there. Ooh, that's the best part. That's why cranberry juice is so good. And if I'm were to rank my juices, it's got to be cranberry juice, orange juice, apple juice, in that order. Sometimes you go to a grandma's house and they have the pomegranate juice or grapefruit juice, and that stuff is good too. But definitely, yeah, man, I like that bite in the back of your jaw from the cranberry juice. It's just that, I don't know, it makes you feel a little bit alive. So yeah, peaches, watermelon, Granny Smith apple, and then juices, cranberry, orange, apple. Do you have any crazy stories from your time on the road, or if you've ever toured before? I've never toured before, but this is a good question. Yeah, I've told you guys the story about the, getting on the Greyhound and then going from North Dakota back home, but I've never told you the story of the ride to the Greyhound. So basically, like I've told you before, I was at this powwow, didn't have any phone. My phone was like out of service and it was off because I didn't pay for it. So not only, am I walking around the powwow looking for lemonade and stuff, me and my cousin are looking for a ride. And, I don't think he'd care about me telling him the story. And, we were walking around, we were just we just turned 18. We're like, well, what should we do? And he's like, man, I don't really know anyone here, but I'm trying to go home. And I was like, me too. And then all of a sudden I'm the one who started the wanting to go home. So he told everyone Dom wanted to go home. And you know what? I used to get upset about it, but now I don't. And anyway, he was like, yeah, I used to go to college out here. And I was like, well, hit up one of your buddies or something. It's only like an hour drive. We give him gas money or something. It's worth a try if we don't know anyone. He's like, okay. He asked his buddy. He said, nah, man, I'm not driving out that far. I don't even got a car. I got a DUI. My grandma ain't gonna let me use the car. I didn't do the dishes. There's a whole bunch of excuses that were coming our way. And then he's like, well, there is this one girl that I used to talk to, but kind of ended on bad terms. I was like, well, hit her up. Let her know we're stranded. He's like, okay. He's like, hey, we're at this powwow. And she's like, well, I'm actually on my way to that powwow. I'll meet you there. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I just said Darian. You guys know who it is now. Darian, he actually ended up saying, he's like, well, I didn't tell her that I needed a ride yet. And I was like, oh my God. It's like 6 o'clock a.m. It's starting 6 o'clock p.m. It's already starting to get dark. And he's like, I think I want to hang out with her for a bit and then I'll ask her. Maybe I'll get her a lemonade or something. He didn't say that, but he had that vibe. Like, I'll try to like be nice. I was like, okay, well, it's our best chance of getting home. So what are we going to do? So he's like, what are you going to do? Oh, when you get hit, well, what are you going to do? You're like, oh, walk around, I guess. There's some lemonade around the corner. I might go walk there a couple times. Or I guess Grand Entry starts here in an hour. I guess I can go check that out. So, yeah, I don't have any cash on me. None of them take cards, so might have to walk down to the gas station, get an ATM. Do they have an ATM? No. Anyway, so that so I'm walking around. I was like, all right, fine. So I'm walking around the powwow endlessly. I did probably like 40 laps. It was small, North Dakota. And he was just talking to this girl in the bleachers, and I saw they were kind of like sitting close, but not like close. Like more so like they're like, yeah, we're just going to talk. And they were just talking and smiling and stuff. And so I text him. Or I actually go up to him because she went to go do something, saw her friends. And I was like, well, what'd she say? He's like, I haven't asked her yet. I'm like, why haven't you asked her yet? It's like 9 o'clock now. It's been 3 hours, been walking around, haven't done nothing. I contemplated going on this little roller coaster thing, but they said I was too tall. He said, well, I'll ask her here soon. And I'll give you a head nod if it's a yes. It's like, all right, we're good. And he asked her, and then he gave me the head nod. And he's like, we got a ride, look. I was like, let's go. So I walked around another like 30 minutes, like pumped. So I was like, all right, we're going home. And then she leaves. And I was like, did he fumble the opportunity here? And he was like, no. So I asked him, he's like, no. She's coming back here tomorrow. We're going to watch Grand Entry. We're going to go to my buddy's auntie's. We'll stay there tonight. And then we'll come back here tomorrow morning, and she'll give us a ride after Grand Entry because her friend's dancing. I was like, okay, well, that sounds good. Fast forward to tomorrow. It's after Grand Entry. We're both ready to go. And she's like, all right, we're all getting in the car. And she's like, all right, but we have to stop here first. And it's like kind of like 30 minutes out of the way. And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. So we're driving North Dakota. They're talking. And I'm kind of like, the third wheel, but there's another person in the car. I don't remember. I think it was a girl. I don't remember who it was. It was someone in the car. And because I slept, so I didn't really care. And all of a sudden, I wake up and her and the person in the back seat, I remember giving me a funny look. Me, not Darian. And they were like, well, they just started laughing when I woke up. And I was like, yeah, I fall asleep in cars, whatever, And they're all like, no, not that. And then they just kept laughing the whole time. And I just kind of just put my headphones on. I was like, whatever. I don't even know what they're laughing at. We get out of the car. We get to the Greyhound station. Or to wherever we're going to get there. I could be jumbling it. Darian's probably like, oh, you're messing up the whole story, making me look bad. Anyway, they're laughing. And so I get out and I ask, what were you guys laughing about? He's like, oh, nothing. And I put it off for a little bit longer. We got our tickets, sat down. I was like, all right, come on. We're in the middle of North Dakota. We're not around them. You're probably never going to talk to her again. What are you guys laughing about? And he's all, you really want to know? It's like, yeah, I want to know. Come on. He's all, oh, there's this bad smell. We were going over something. And I may have blamed it and said, you fart in your sleep. And I was like, that's what you said? That was what's so funny? You guys were laughing for like 2 hours on a fart joke? Yeah. It's like, I remember saying, my kind of people, man. My kind of people. And it was just a funny experience because I wanted to get mad, but it wasn't, and shout out to Darian if he's listening. I know some of my family might be listening, and if you've never heard that story, now you have. It was a good time. And then we ended up going home, and cousin Janae picked us up in Washington, or Montana. I think it might have been Montana, actually. Yeah, I think it might have been. I think I've said Washington, and then she's like, it wasn't Washington, it was Idaho, or it was Montana, it was Billings, or whatever. So every time I try to get it good. We had a whole episode named after that whole dilemma. And in the heat of those moments, you don't want to do those things. You don't want to go hang out, or you don't want to go do it. But, in the long run, you end up making pretty cool memories. And I've been trying to get better at that. I'm just tired of being like the victim guy all the time. You don't got to do it all the time. It gets tiring. But, yeah, man, that was a crazy story. Thanks for the question. If you guys are just now listening or you skipped ahead, if you guys go back a little bit, somebody asked a question. Do you have any crazy stories from your time on the road or touring? Never toured before, but that was my answer for that. Yeah, man, I got some questions for you guys, though. A lot of people listen to the pod and they're, asking me questions. But I got to ask, what is the craziest road trip you've been on? Send in your responses, 425-320-3641. Let me know. What was the craziest road trip experience you've ever had? What was the longest one you've ever had? I know in some road trips, man, people start disliking the people they're on the road trip with, pretty often. I went on a road trip with some buddies, and we didn't hate each other at the end. I think we tried to at the end, like we all tried to like make it like, oh, I'm so sick of this. But I had a good time. Still, even now I'll be honest. I did lose my patience one time when we were driving, but I was like, it's gonna happen. Sorry for drinking in the mic, by the way. It's just sparkling water. It's not anything crazy. But yeah, if you guys are like looking at the part wolf logo, it is a wiener dog. And a wiener dog is definitely part wolf. I think all dogs are actually part wolf a little bit. But yeah, I think some dogs definitely had that uncle mentality of I'm just gonna leave for a couple days. Make them wonder where I'm at. Have a good setup here, I know that, but there might be some good food somewhere else. That's what every dog be thinking sometimes. You could be having the most luxurious life, fed 3 times a day, no effort, dog bed, gets to lay on the furniture, toys. As soon as that door opens up, boom, they're gone. Never understood it. Never will. But then you got, the other animals too. Hamsters, turtles, birds, cats. I'd say cats probably like the next one under the dogs that are like, I don't know. Actually, I want to look that up real quick. Let's see what is more common to have. I'm guessing a dog. Most common pets in the U.S. I'll look in the U.S. Dogs are the most popular pet in the U.S. 65.1 million households own a dog, followed by 46.5 million have freshwater fish. Oh, no, cats have 46 million. And then freshwater fish are 11.1. So yeah, in terms of American favorite furry friends, dog, cat, fish are the top 3. Then it goes to reptile, bird, rabbit, and then chickens, and then horses. Let's go in the world. What do you guys think the most common pets are in the world? I'm gonna say in the world, I'm probably gonna say dog. It should come no surprise that the most popular pet in the world is the dog. There's a reason why people say dogs are a man's best friend. There are tens and millions of them living in the United States alone. Globally, approximately 1/3 of all households have at least one dog. Yeah, so dogs are the most common in the world. Then cats are number 2. And then fish, yeah. So even when it goes to the world, it goes dog, cat, fish, and then hamsters are number 4, not reptiles in the world. That's pretty nuts. But yeah. I mean, I definitely I've had a dog, I've had a cat, fish, bird, turtle, hamster. Never had chickens, never had a horse. Had a wolf. Yeah, you know, they say there's a lot of dogs, but I wonder how many of them are wolf. That's my main question. Yeah, that's something. Definitely something to think about. But yeah, I just want to say thanks. You know, this has been a pretty chill episode. I've been glad to talk to you guys here. We're gonna have our next duo podcast that's gonna be aired next week with John Reamer. So make sure to go check that out when it comes out. And also make sure to check out Equinox, man. They got some cool stuff. They'll send their stuff right away. It feels good. You know, it doesn't feel too light, doesn't feel too heavy. It's right in the middle. So yeah, you know, if you guys are ever looking for a new shirt, you guys want to support native business, go check out Equinox, man. They're Danae-owned company. Started in 2022. It's 2023 now. So that means they got one whole year of figuring this stuff out. It's only going to get better and better, man. So go check them out. Good prices. They send it fast. Feels good. I don't know what more you guys need. Native-owned company. Seems like a pretty good fit, you know. So, yeah, check them out. You know, let them know I sent you. Anyways, we'll be back next week. So see you guys then. Wait.